Chicago author and James Patterson collaborator. Or is he a David Ellis collaborator?
No.
Who knows? Who's the collaborator?
I'm collaborating with him. Jim is every book that has his name on it. He's the soul of the book. It's his concept. He plots out every scene. I sometimes feel like I'm the driver of the car, but he's telling me when to brake and which way to turn and how fast to go.
Well, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You obviously, having the name James Patterson on a book with your name, and as I say, your name should go on top and his on the bottom,
No,
but whatever.
no.
How big a deal is that in getting your work out to people who wouldn't have known of it otherwise?
Well, there's no question that I've gotten exposure from it. I mean, when James Patterson publishes a book, it usually launches to the top of the bestseller lists in all across the world, really. And I would like to be that successful, but my own books don't quite do that. So certainly, I receive a lot of new fans. I think will at least take a look at me or reach out to me. I can always see that little
A bump.
spike every time that one of our books comes out.
How hard is it in today's world to be discovered, do you think? Like I used to go to the bookstore, and my family and I, my banker said the bookstore loves you because you're spending $80, $90 a drop.
Yeah.
But we would go in and we would really look at books, and you could pull them out and look at the covers and open
Yes.
them up. And now most of us don't have a bookstore near us anymore.
It's getting harder. The whole landscape is completely changing. I think it's getting harder. What's really hard right now is not for the new person who might have the promise of being the next big seller, and it's not for the people at the top, like James Patterson, Michael Connelly.
I thought you were going to say like me.
Not like me.
Okay.
No, not like me. It's people really in the middle who've been writing for a while, who are doing well, but are not at the very top of the list. That's for whom the life, I think, is toughest right now and probably scariest in this new world. Well, I think we're all still trying to figure out how we fit into this new digital world.
I'm able to sample books at the drop of a hat. So when I found out I was interviewing you, I immediately go to Kindle and pull up 4 or 5 of your books and hit take sample.
Sure.
And I start looking at them. How important in that kind of world is the first line, the first paragraph, when people are only sampling?
Well, you've hit on it. I mean, I always tell people who are looking to break in, I always say your first chapter should be your best, your first paragraph should be the best paragraph, and your first sentence should be your best first sentence. It should be your best sentence, period. You have to understand that people have very short attention spans, whether you're trying to get an agent to accept your book or get someone to buy it. You have to give them your best from the outset, or they won't keep reading.
Well, let's talk about your latest. You've got like 30 seconds to sell us on this book. What is the Black Book about?
When I think of the Black Book, I think that we took a sex scandal that threatens to bring down the most powerful people in Chicago, with corruption in the Chicago Police Department, with a murder mystery, and tied in all around that a love triangle. Not a cliched love triangle, but with 3 people you can really believe and understand. And I think when you put those things all together, I wasn't even sure how it was going to come out, but I think it's the best thing we've done together. If someone can read that book and figure out the ending before they get there, I'd be very impressed, because I don't think they will.
Oh, darn. Now I'm wishing that I'd had more time to dive in so I could make some guesses. It's hard when you read that kind of book not to picture a specific person as mayor. You know, you wonder when people and I wonder if Richard J. Daley, say, was reading your book, if he would think, oh, is that supposed to be me?
Yeah, well, that's always a concern. So you try to make people not do that. You try to give them physical, characteristics or something, or the way they speak or something. Mayor Daley is certainly memorable in a lot of ways. I tried not to make any. I didn't want anyone to see Rahm Emanuel or Mayor Daley when they read that.
But this is a book that people who are cynical about Chicago politics, or who like great mysteries, or both, it's a book for them. Oh,
it's going to be right in their wheelhouse. I mean, if you like a good whodunit, if you like a good, corruption, scandal sort of story, this is exactly what you want, I think.
Yeah, when you have a book that opens up outside a House of Ill Repute.
A House of Ill Repute, a brothel, yes.
And you see people going into it that you're thinking, whoa, wait a minute.
They start
I recognize that person.
Yes, you start recognizing the faces, yeah. It's a good start to the book. That's just the beginning of everything that's going to come unfolding.
Well, good. Well, we look forward to it, and we wish you great success.
Well, thank you.
And look forward to the next Jason Coleridge book as well.
Thank you.
Thanks again, David Ellis.